Hi, folks. Welcome back into the KQEG Seven Rivers Racing Show. I'm Dan Dyker along with Al Losi. Race week number 3 finally came in. Oh, I tell you what, Mother Nature, I think we snuck one in on her last weekend. Weather was perfect to be at the Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway.
Somebody got on their knees and really prayed to Mother Nature, boy. It was gorgeous out there.
By feature time, the 2,300 or so that were in attendance just sat back and enjoyed the great weather. Good crowd and a fantastic night of racing. And I said this a couple weeks ago, watching how the first couple late model and Sportsman events went and a couple of fantastic finishes with the Thunderstocks. This is going to be a prime year to be a fan in the stands.
Oh, very definitely. And you're talking about what happened in the heat races. What happened in the features was even better.
Yeah, I mean, we had out of the 3 out of the 4 heat races, the first 2 Thunderstock heat races last week went to the wire. Dash races were going to the wire. And then if you look at the incredible thing that happened in the late model feature with Jay Herbst and Steve Carlson, which we're going to show you here in a minute, it was a picture-perfect night to be at the racetrack.
Never had to put a sweater on. Just enjoyed the nice short sleeves.
I even had a little Uncle Mike's ice cream too.
Oh yeah.
I sneak it in between races up in the booth. Looking at last weekend at Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway, Jay Herbst used a double file restart to do something that not a lot of people can do. Beat Steve Carlson on a double file restart.
That was tremendous.
And got the punch coming out of turn 1. And I'm not even really sure if Carlson knew what was about to happen right there. It happened so fast. Here is one of our pieces of video from last weekend, and Jay Herbst out in front of Steve Carlson. Carlson led the race. Jeremy Wagner had a great start. He was almost a half track in front of the entire field. And Carlson caught him on lap 18 as the white flag came out right here. And Steve Carlson did not want that white to come, or that caution flag to come out late in this race. It came out on lap 5 to go. And as Carlson tries to chase down Jay Herbst, it just didn't happen. And the number 82 not only got the win, but retained his points. And look how close that was right there. I think with another lap left, Carlson may have gotten side by side at the start-finish line with Herbst.
It would have been a lot closer for sure. Herbst, though, he just had a strong car after that last caution.
Herbst has been the one to watch over the past 3 years, winning the track championship 2 years ago, losing the championship by a point last year, and now back into the points lead. Very tight with the first couple of cars. Looking at the points race, and Todd Korsh and Steve Carlson 12 points behind your leader, Jay Herbst. Sean Path only 14 points back. Matt Henderson rounds out the top 5, 43 points back. Rest of the top 10, Brent Kirchner, Bill Niles, Mike Carlson, Harley Jankowski, and Skylar Holzhausen. Holzhausen's the number 10 car, but it's only 69 points back with a lot of racing season left to go.
Very close, very close. The late models are all very close this year.
Looking at the North Country Contractor Sportsman, Jimmy Gilster won a caution-free North Country Contractor feature, and that had some excitement as well. Greg Scheck hung on to second. Matt Englert finished third. And look at these 3 cars here. Humfeld had set the qualifying pace earlier on in the night. Both Gilsters that are running up front have both set track records this year. And Greg Scheck finally getting in the top 3, and this is going to be one strong field for the rest of the year.
Oh, especially going caution-free. That just doesn't happen in that division, and they're really racing close. They're racing hard, and it's very exciting.
Jimmy Gilster has the points lead. Randy Humfeld 6 back. Dan Gilster 7 back. Greg Scheck 21 back, along with Matt Englert, as you see the checkered flag go down on Jimmy Gilster's number 3, Crack Corn in the winner's circle again. Looking at the rest of the points, Jake Arneson 66 back, followed by Troy Mayer, Brandon Berg, Brian Hesselberg, and Steve Bachman. A very tight top 10 right there with the North Country Contractor Sportsman. United Auto Supply had a little bit of excitement before the checkered flag dropped, and a couple of cars didn't make it out and may not make it back for the rest of the year. Look at this collision here with Chris Webber, who lost his entire front end going into turn 1. And a little bit of excitement here with Charles Vian Jr. Usually in this kind of a situation, I watch the drivers before they even worry about their own safety. They're getting out to survey the damage on their cars. That's what I thought was going to happen here. He jumps out, takes a look at the front end, not too happy with what Charles Vian sees, and here comes the finger pointing between Vian and Chris Webber, and a lot of excitement you usually don't get to see at the racetrack, depending upon where you're sitting at.
You know, and the people in the stands sure enjoy that because they would like to do that when they're on the freeway when somebody's cutting them off.
The road rage on the quarter mile
Yep.
right there at Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Well, Chad Ayler ended up winning that race. Rookie of the Year contender David Cavan did a nice job, along with rookie Jordan Myers. So you had two rookies finishing second and third. And we'll show you the finale of this race right here. This is going to be a very interesting class this year because nobody except Andy Moore and Brad Worthen have been very strong. But when you have two rookies like this and Chad Ayler picking up that feature win, as he spins around, he's still got the win, it's going to be a very tough class.
Yeah, and it's always fun to win in style.
Oh, it is.
That's winning in style.
You win as you spun around on a 360. That's a nice way to go. Andy Moore, your point leader, heading into week number 4. Brad Worthen, 4 back. Jay Kruger, 7 back. Jason Bolster, 11 back. And Raymond Hardy back on the track this year is only 20 back. Rusty Winchell, Dustin Bagstead, Jordan Myers, Chad Ayler, and Chris Webber round out the finale right there. And we do want to show you something with the boat race. And I've got a question that kind of came upon me when I was compiling the points list earlier today. Of course, we had the boat race, and Josh Inglet won the novelty boat race after a fan vote. This is always a fun one to call. Charles Vian Jr.'s boat fell off the minivan before he even had a chance to get on the track, and he did some demolition.
Yeah, sure. This is my first chance to see that. I know I could smell the boat sliding around there, all the fiberglass. You could smell it all over the racetrack.
And just a fantastic night and just one of those great events to call. And Vian sure did some destruction out there. You know, the question I do want to pose before we go to break is if you look at the points race, and a lot of guys don't follow the points, or so they say. A lot of them do because they want to keep the points good for their sponsors. We're 3 weeks into the season. We've got some major points developing in the 3 major classes. Even the Bolden Construction Outlaws class is very tight. 2 points separate John Olson and Jerry Ayler's in the 0-9. When, as a race team, and you've done this for a long time, being out of this scenario but being a part of a race team, when do you realize you're out of the points championship? It could happen really early in the season. It could happen midway through. When do you realize that you're not in contention anymore? And what kind of a mindset does that give a driver and his race team?
Well, there's a couple of different mindsets that can take place, and it's all about team priorities. You're going to want to make a choice as to if you're too far out and you know that you're mathematically eliminated, you start working for next season, doing things that you normally wouldn't do. You'd probably be a little more aggressive on your car setups, be a little bit more aggressive on the racetrack because you don't have to worry about falling back to 20th place. You may try a little harder at winning a race. You may do a few things that you normally wouldn't do because you have that. It's almost a luxury that you have. When you're in a points race, you're stuck. You have to work for points. You can't go to the outside maybe and worry about losing 6 spots.
Right.
You've got to be passively aggressive when you're playing for points.
All right. So, if you have a question for us, what's the website that they can throw a question into us at?
The website will be www.fansarena.com/sevenriversracingshow.html.
You can also find us at youtube.com/7riversracing, and you can find a longer program, WKTY AM 580 on Saturdays 4 to 5, and bring you the racing report as you head out to the racetrack. First time since this show has aired, all 4 tracks locally could be running this weekend. One of those, the Dells Raceway Park. Matt Panure, their announcer and marketing guru, is going to join us, and back-to-back champion Corey Jankowski is going to join us in the program when we return on the 7 Rivers Racing Show here on KQEG TV.